Thank you so much for joining me in this Ask Lara today. And we're going to talk about collagen. Okay, there's a lot of buzz about collagen lately. Initially, at least a couple of years ago, I thought the collagen supplements were unnecessary, and that if we just consumed the nutrients, our own bodies would make all the collagen we needed for us. And after reading about 150 papers, I have changed my mind, especially for older people, because our ability to produce collagen drops as we age. And collagen is really important for us. So I would like to tell you about collagen today. What's all the buzz about collagen? Okay, just what is collagen? Collagen's a protein. It's the major protein component of the extracellular matrix, which is a large network of proteins and other molecules that surrounds, supports, and gives structure to all the cells and tissues in your body. In the extracellular matrix, collagen self-assembles into thin fibers that then weave themselves together to present a striped appearance. They're called cross-striated fibrils. Collagen's cross-striated fibers provide support for cell growth, and they're responsible for the mechanical resilience of all our connective tissues. Collagen also helps cells attach to and communicate with nearby cells, and plays an important role in cell growth, cell movement, and other cell functions. Collagen is the major component of the extracellular matrix. Actually, collagen is not just one protein. It's a whole family of proteins. To date, between 28 and 29 types of collagen have been described, and by far the most prevalent and important ones in the human body are types 1, type 2, and type 3, along with far smaller amounts of two other kinds, type 5 and type 10. These collagens all play structural roles in our tissues and contribute to their mechanical properties, their organization, and their shape. Collagen was long believed to only serve as a key structural component of the extracellular matrix and to have nothing to do with bone mineralization. Then about a decade ago, collagen was discovered to play an active role in the apatite mineralization process, in part by acting as a gatekeeper and screening different molecules to determine whether they could diffuse into the inner spaces of collagen fibrils. Only extremely small protein molecules, smaller than 6 Daltons, okay, which my husband told me not to get into. It's very technical biochemistry, but the really small proteins are allowed to enter. There are several key molecules involved in new bone formation that are this small. Two of them that you may be familiar with are osteocalcin, which is just 5.8 Daltons, and brings calcium into our bones after it's been activated by vitamin K2, and bone matrix gua protein, which is 5.7 Daltons, and which, when activated by K2, prevents calcium from depositing in our soft tissues. So both osteocalcin and matrix gua protein interact directly with the minerals in the ECM, the extracellular matrix. Collagens also interact with nearby cells through several receptors and help regulate cell growth, cell differentiation, and cell migration. Different collagens are found in the extracellular matrix in different parts of our bodies. Some collagens have a restricted tissue distribution, and hence they have specific biological functions, which is why you'll see certain types of supplemental collagen recommended for beneficial effects on your bones, or on your joints, or your blood vessels, your hair, your nails, or your skin elasticity. We'll talk about the best research of these collagens shortly, but first I want to share with you a bit about what collagen is made up of and how it forms. So what is collagen made up of? If you're following along with me in the document that I uploaded for this talk, there's a few graphics that you'll see, and we're coming to the first one now. Each triple helical peptide chain is composed of 3 individual interlocking procollagen peptide chains, 2 alpha-1 procollagen chains, and 1 alpha-2 procollagen chain. In bone, a triple helix of these 3 procollagen chains, 2A1 and 1A2, form inside osteoblasts. In other areas of the body and connective tissues, collagen is produced by special cells called fibroblasts, which secrete it in an immature form into the extracellular space. Once it gets there, into the extracellular space, the immature type 1 procollagen gets acted upon by two enzymes. Now, I know this is technical, but I'm really hoping it's going to make sense for you, because the tests that you run to see if your bones are renewing look at the procollagen compounds that are derived, that are pulled off as the collagen is matured. So once in the extracellular matrix, the immature type 1 procollagen is acted upon by two enzymes, procollagen aminoprotease and carboxyproteinase, which remove the amino and carboxyl terminal propeptides. Okay? In bone, these are the fragments that we can check for in serum that tell us that new bone formation is occurring. And the end result is a mature triple helix type 1 collagen, which then goes on to form crosslinks with other collagen triple helixes in the extracellular matrix. And it's this collagen cross-linking of triple helixes that provides the very high tensile strength of collagen. So if you're going along with me looking at this document, I put in a graphic showing the alpha 2 chain, the alpha 1 chain, and the other alpha 1 chain that then combine. They weave together to form type 1 collagen. Within osteoblasts, these three procollagen chains form a triple helix that will become mature type 1 procollagen. Okay, and I'm just going to move through the rest of that graphic. You can read it at your leisure and see how the collagen is actually formed. As I mentioned, there are different types of collagen, and they produce different effects in different parts of the body, including our bones, our joints, blood vessels, hair, nails, and skin. So let's talk about the best researched of these different collagens next. Type 1 collagen is the most prevalent collagen in your body. Along with some type 3 collagen, type 1 collagen accounts for 70% of the skin's dermis and is also present in your eyes, your tendons, your teeth, and your bones. The connective tissue of skin is composed mostly of type 1 collagen, which makes up 70 to 80% of the dry weight of your skin and gives the dermis, the layer of connective tissue that's sandwiched between the epidermis and the subcutaneous tissue, its mechanical and structural integrity. In the diagrams below, you can see that the primary difference between young and old skin is simply a depletion of collagen. In our bones, type 1 collagen serves as the major protein component of the bone matrix, constituting 90% of the organic matrix of bone. So what's collagen doing in your bones? After osteoclasts have degraded tiny areas of damaged or old brittle bone, osteoblasts lay down new bone by secreting type 1 collagen to form the connective tissue matrix in bone. This is the scaffolding that is then ossified, or turned into bone by the deposition of calcium and phosphate. The result is the formation of hydroxyapatite, the hard mineralized portion of our bones. Type 1 collagen is such an important component of our bones that markers of bone collagen turnover are now used to monitor the balance between bone breakdown and bone formation in the bone renewal process. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you may be familiar with CTX and P1NP. These are the two biochemical markers of both bone resorption and bone formation, whose serum levels I often suggest you can check after 6 months of taking AlgaeCal to see if your bones are beginning to effectively rebuild. Both of these markers are derived from type 1 collagen. CTX is the abbreviation for C-terminal cross-linking telepeptides of type 1 collagen. These are protein fragments of bone collagen matrix which get released when osteoclasts resorb old or damaged bone. P1NP is short for N-terminal propeptide of type 1 collagen, and that gets cleaved from type 1 collagen during new bone formation, and it gets released into the circulation where its concentration is directly proportional to the amount of new collagen that is being produced by your osteoblasts. In our bones, type 1 collagen is synthesized by a specific type of fibroblast, the osteoblast. They used to think that osteoblasts and other fibroblasts were two completely different types of cells, but now we know that osteoblasts are actually a very sophisticated kind of fibroblast. All the fibroblasts, including osteoblasts, develop inside our bones from mesenchymal stem cells, that live in our bone marrow. Osteoblasts remain there in our bones, while other fibroblasts become wandering cells that migrate through the extracellular matrix to connective tissues throughout the rest of the body and produce type 1 collagen, and sometimes some type 3 collagen as well, where they end up. All fibroblasts, including osteoblasts, secrete collagen, typically types 1 and 3. Type 1 is by far the most abundant form of collagen in the body. It accounts for 25 to 35% of your body's entire protein content because it is a main component of not just our bone matrix, but all our connective tissues. Type 1 collagen plays key roles in our skin, our cartilage, our tendons, our blood vessels, our hair, and the cornea of our eyes, our nails, and our bones. Type 2 collagen is produced by a type of cell called chondrocytes, which are specialized fibroblast cells that are found only in cartilage and are responsible for producing it. Type 2 collagen is the primary component of the most common type of cartilage in the body, which is called hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage lines our joints. It caps our bones, and it's also found between our ribs and in our nasal passages. Type 2 collagen makes up 50% of all the protein in cartilage, and 85 to 90% of the collagen in articular cartilage, which is another name for the hyaline cartilage that's found at the ends of our bones. Articular cartilage is a highly specialized connective tissue whose main function is to provide a smooth and lubricated surface for our joints and to facilitate the transmission of loads with a low coefficient of collagen-damaging friction. Type 2 collagen is also found in our tendons, just in small amounts, and it's generally concentrated near the bone insertion. Type 3 collagen is the second most abundant type of collagen in the body. It's synthesized by fibroblasts, which remember are initially produced in our bone marrow and then migrate out through the extracellular matrix to various parts of the body. Type 3 collagen accompanies type 1 collagen in our skin and other areas. It's present in large quantities in tissues with elastic fibers. For example, it provides tensile strength and integrity in our intestines, our muscles, our blood vessels, especially large blood vessels like the aorta, our bowels, and in women, in our uterus. Type 5 collagen is far less abundant than types 1, 2, or 3. It's produced by osteoblasts, and it assists in the development of a really strong fibrillar structure in types 1 and 3, and also provides support for the bone matrix, cornea, the interstitial matrix of our muscles, our liver, and our lungs, our tendons, and in pregnant women in the placenta. Lastly, type 10 collagen, is produced by fibroblasts in areas where our bones have been injured, and it's involved in the repair and restoration of cartilage and bone in those areas. Type 10 collagen assists in the healing process, both by organizing the extracellular matrix and by promoting calcium binding there. More than 90% of the collagen in our bodies is types 1 and 3, which is produced both by osteoblasts and the special fibroid cells that produce new bone, and by other fibroblasts in connective tissues. The proteins in these types of collagens consist of 19 different amino acids, all of which are essential in the functions and maintenance of our skin, muscles, and bone, which is another reason why it is so important that you consume enough protein, especially as you age, because our protein needs actually increase as we age. Younger healthy folks only need about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of their body weight to build and maintain their muscle mass. But as we age, we need more, 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of our body weight. Collagen supplements providing types 1 and 3 help improve a bunch of things. First of all, skin elasticity, and thus the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. As I explained earlier, collagen protein is made up of 3 polypeptide alpha chains, each having a repeated structure. And you know what? I'm not going to talk about the glycine and proline and all of that. It's really complicated. It's in the document. If you want to read more about the specifics, you can read it there, but it's really complicated. When collagen is hydrolyzed, which simply means that the collagen strands have been separated into their specific bioactive collagen peptides, and we consume that, It travels through the bloodstream as either two peptide combinations, which are called dipeptides, or three peptide combinations called tripeptides. And it makes its way to various tissues, including our skin, where it accumulates and it triggers a response in the fibroblasts there in the skin, increasing their activity. Dipeptides containing hydroxyproline play an especially significant role when they're absorbed by the skin. They promote the growth of dermal fibroblasts and enhance the production of hyaluronic acid, which is a polysaccharide molecule in our connective tissue that forms a gelatinous matrix around cells. The increase in hyaluronic acid increases the moisture levels in the outermost layer of our skin, improving skin hydration. Plus, these collagen peptides actually promote new collagen synthesis, forming strong collagen fibrils that strengthen the skin's natural barrier, ultimately enhancing our skin's elasticity. Lastly, the consumption of collagen peptides stimulates the production of a protein called filaggrin that plays a crucial role in restoring our skin's barrier function. Filaggrin is responsible for aggregating and then compacting keratin filaments in the stratum corneum, which is the outermost layer of our skin. And it's made up mostly of keratin and lipids and forms what's called the epidermal barrier, which protects your skin and body from the external environment. Once that work is done, filaggrin continues to be processed by various enzymes, and it releases amino acids and their derivatives, which are a variety of humectants, which form what's called natural moisturizing factor in the stratum corneum of your skin, further boosting its hydration. In sum, collagen peptides not only enhance skin barrier function and skin hydration, but they maintain it by increasing filaggrin and natural moisturizing factor components within the outermost layer of our skin. Collagen supplements providing types 1 and 3 also help improve weak or damaged nail beds, so our nails become stronger. Collagen peptides do this because they upregulate several genes, which code for structural components of both our skin and its appendages, including our nails, our hair follicles, and our hair. When administered orally, bioactive collagen peptides are absorbed in the form of small collagen peptides and free amino acids. The free amino acids provide building blocks for the formation of epidermal extracellular matrix proteins, while the collagen peptides act as bioactive messengers, and they activate different signaling pathways that stimulate dermal and epidermal metabolism. Really well-done studies have shown that supplementing with bioactive collagen peptides directly affects the health of the nail matrix and clearly improves brittle nails. One of the studies that I'm going to show you a picture from, 64% of the women participating after 24 weeks saw really measurable improvements. Improvement was even more pronounced after a 4-week washout period when they weren't even using collagen anymore. After that, 88% of the participants showed clinical global improvement. So why did they continue to improve after a 4-week washout period? Because the collagen peptides did not just deliver proteins that the nails needed to grow stronger, but these peptides stimulate the epidural and dermal layers of our skin and nails. I included a graphic for you that shows you the epidermis. It's the outermost and thinnest layer of our skin. And then the dermal layer, the middle layer right below it, is the thickest layer of our skin. Individuals whose nails are more fragile or brittle also notice that their nails typically grow more slowly. This increases nail fragility because the time that the nail plate is exposed to external damaging factors is longer. Collagen peptides speed up new nail plate formation by upregulating several genes, and I've listed them here for you, which initiate the formation of structural components in the nail plate, and do the same in our skin and our hair and hair follicles. And collagen peptides really increase the activity of these important genes by 5.3-fold or 530% in animal studies. So I hope you can see this picture of 2 different people's nails that participated in this study before and after. And the results are truly astounding. Okay, thin hair or hair loss. Collagen helps with producing more hair and preventing hair loss. And it does so because hair growth requires the growth and differentiation of hair follicles. The life cycle of a hair follicle is divided into 3 different phases. The first one is called anagen, it's the growth phase. Then the next phase is called catagen, it's a regression or shutting down phase. And then the last phase is called telogen, it's the resting phase. Normally, hair follicles are contracted after the anagen phase, and the hair shaft falls out during the catagen or telogen phase. As the follicles begin a new anagen phase, they grow back to their original size and produce a new hair of normal thickness. In animal studies, oral intake of collagen peptides has been shown to lengthen the anagen or growth phase and the telogen to anagen transition phase, the rest phase, resulting in an increase in the number of hair follicles and their size and increased hair thickness. Collagen helps your circulation. Types 1 and 3 collagen improve the tensile strength of our blood vessels. This is an obvious benefit for anyone whose blood vessels are constantly being stressed by high blood pressure. Collagen supplements providing type 2 collagen, which makes up 50 to 60% of the protein in the body's cartilage, help support the health of our joints. When inflamed or damaged, joints and immune cells produce several inflammatory mediators. These are called cytokines, and they include tumor necrosis factor alpha and the interleukins IL-1 and IL-7, which are important players in cartilage breakdown because these cytokines trigger the production of enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases that degrade not just cartilage collagen, but every component of the extracellular matrix. Cartilage damage in osteoarthritis is thought to be primarily mediated by the activity of these matrix metalloproteinase enzymes. Here's a graphic, which I hope you can see in the document, illustrating the process of the things that increase risk for metalloproteinase enzyme activation and cartilage breakdown. 2 forms of supplemental type 2 collagen have been used in the treatment of osteoarthritis. Undenatured type 2 collagen, which you'll see abbreviated as UC-11, and partially hydrolyzed collagen. Both forms are helpful, but UC-11 is the most effective. And the reason why is that UC-11 is derived from chicken sternum cartilage, and it's been shown to be more effective because it maintains all of type 2 collagen's natural biological activity, while the preparation of partially hydrolyzed collagen involves degradation by enzymes, heat, and/or an acidic pH. UC2 appears to improve joint health by promoting oral tolerance. Oral tolerance is an immune process the body uses to distinguish between safe compounds and potentially harmful foreign invaders. It takes place in a type of immune tissue that surrounds the digestive tract called the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or gall. The gall neighbors the small intestine, and it contains patches of lymphoid tissue called Peyer's patches. Peyer's patches they sample things. They screen compounds from the gut lumen, which is the open area inside your intestines, and depending on the compound, switch the body's immune response on or turn it off. When consumed, UC-11, which stands for undenatured type 2 collagen, is taken up by Peyer's patches, and it transforms naive T cells, which are immature T cells, immune cells, that haven't yet decided what type of T cell they're going to be, into a form of T cell called a regulatory T cell. And these two T cells, regulatory T cells, tune down unnecessary immune responses, and they specifically protect type 2 collagen. T cells then migrate from the gall, surrounding your intestines, into your bloodstream. And when they travel throughout your body, and when they recognize type 2 collagen in joint cartilage, Treg cells secrete anti-inflammatory mediators, other types of cytokines that are anti-inflammatory, including transforming growth factor beta, TGF-beta, and interleukin-4 and interleukin-10, all of which prevent an unnecessary immune response and the activation of matrix metalloproteinases. This really helps reduce joint inflammation, and it promotes cartilage repair. Clinically validated lab assays have confirmed that active epitopes, which are regions of protein that can trigger a cellular immune response, in undenatured collagen type 2, okay, resist digestion and retain the 3D structure that's needed to interact with Peyer's patches and induce oral tolerance. This process initiates anti-inflammatory and cartilage protective pathways that prevent the immune system from injuring joint cartilage while promoting cartilage repair and regeneration. UC2's beneficial effects on joint function and joint pain resulting from strenuous exercise have been confirmed in a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study of healthy volunteers. People who had no prior history of arthritis, okay, or joint pain at rest, but who experienced plenty of joint discomfort with physical activity. Their joint function was assessed by changes in their ability to bend and extend their knees, knee flexion and extension, as well as measuring the time to experiencing joint pain and recovering from joint pain following really strenuous exercise. They put them on stair steppers. I don't know if you've ever used one of those, but that is pretty strenuous exercise for your knees, and had them crank along there for a while until they were in too much pain to continue. After 120 days of supplementation, average knee flexion and extension improved significantly in the 27 people who were in the UC2 group, but not at all in the subjects given placebo. The UC2 group was able to exercise longer before they experienced any initial joint discomfort, and 5 individuals in the UC2 group no longer had any pain whatsoever. In contrast, there was no improvement in those given placebo. Your genetic inheritance can affect your ability to produce collagen. The whole process of collagen fibril biosynthesis begins with the transcription of genes within the nucleus of your cells. I included a graphic that illustrates how this process occurs. Polymorphisms, okay, also called single nucleotide polymorphisms or SNPs, that affect one of the genes responsible for the synthesis of procollagen alpha chains in bone, which are called COL1A1 SNPs, or specifically the SNP COL1A1 SP11546 G to T, result in the production of more collagen type 1A1 protein relative to collagen type 1A2. And that results in the production of unbalanced and weaker collagen fibers. Okay, you want the balance where you have 2 of one form and 1 of another form. And if that balance is off, the collagen that's produced isn't as strong. So a genetic inheritance that causes you to produce weaker collagen fibers can increase your susceptibility to a loss of bone strength and resilience with age, and to an increased risk of fracture. Individuals with the TT genotype of COL1A1 tend to have lower bone mineral density and greater fracture risk compared to those who inherited the GG genotype. If you've read anything about me personally and my exceptionally bone-breaking genetic inheritance, you will not be surprised to know that I carry the TT genotype of COL1A1. If you, like me, carry the risk T allele, even if you have 1 T and 1 G rather than 2 Gs, if you have 1 T or 2 Ts in your SNPs, you need to do all that you can to counteract your production of a weakened form of collagen and reduce your risk of osteoporosis and fracture. Supplementing with type 1 collagen, which is collagen that has already been formed correctly, okay, can be a big help for us. Collagen boosters and busters. We can't change our genetic inheritance, but we can definitely mitigate its effects, and we can absolutely do plenty to correct the other things that lessen our ability to produce healthy, strong, resilient collagen for our cells. Everyone's ability to synthesize type 1 collagen in our skin declines with age. We can slow down the process a bit by doing the following things. First, you want to ensure that you're getting optimal amounts of the nutrients that your body requires to produce collagen. Protein, particularly the amino acid lysine, along with vitamin C, silicon, vitamin A, zinc, copper, and manganese, okay, are the nutrients that your body uses to make collagen for you. AlgaeCal Plus is giving you a really good start on vitamin C and all of these trace minerals. AlgaeCal's D3 Complete is now providing support for you for vitamin A. And your diet should be providing ample protein support overall, including protein that contains a fair amount of the amino acid lysine. High lysine foods include poultry, fish, shrimp, shellfish, pork, beef, soy, especially tempeh and tofu, nuts, seeds, eggs, beans, and lentils. So you can see that whether you eat meat or you don't, or you eat fish or you don't, or you're a vegetarian or even a vegan, there are plenty of good sources of lysine that you can have in your diet. Remember that you need 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. For most of us, this works out to about 75 grams of protein each day, possibly up to 90 grams a day if you're really active. If you're sedentary, you need less protein, but please don't be sedentary. There are so many reasons you need to exercise. To build bone and to maintain muscle mass, you need to exercise, and you should be trying to move around, weight-bearing movement, for at least 45 minutes every day. Try to consume 25 to 30 grams of protein with each of your 3 meals. The next real buster of your ability to produce collagen for yourself is too much alcohol. 1 drink a day for women, 2 for men, cause no harm, and can even be beneficial for our bones. More, however, is definitely destructive. Ogden Nash once quipped, "Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker." He was referring to quote-unquote romance about 75 years ago. But nowadays, this statement is more aptly applied to our bodies. Too much alcohol is going to make your belly fat, your bones thin, and your skin wrinkled even faster than too much candy. Which I don't recommend too much candy either, but hey, alcohol is even worse. A little alcohol is great. Don't overdo it on the alcohol. Smoking is another collagen buster. Just don't. You know enough about this. I'm not going to say anymore. Exposure to air pollution will interfere with your ability to produce collagen. When we breathe in particulate matter, it gets absorbed from our lungs and goes into the bloodstream, where it increases oxidative stress and it speeds inflammation throughout the body. If you live in a city or near a highway, get HEPA filters. Filter the air in your home, in your office. I've included a link to an article on reporting where the worst air pollution is in the United States in 2024. Take a look at this. If you're in one of these areas, get informed and please protect yourself. Excessive UV exposure will also destroy collagen. Some sunscreen-free exposure to sunshine causes vitamin D formation in our skin and is really important for us. Longer exposure to higher energy UV rays, however, which are a form of ionizing radiation, will damage you. These high energy UV rays remove an electron, they ionize it, an atom or molecule, and this causes damage to the DNA, the genes in your cells, and it will cause sagging skin and wrinkles. Don't overdo it in the sun without proper clothing and sunscreen. Hyperglycemia will also interfere with your ability to build and maintain collagen for yourself. Hyperglycemia is chronically elevated blood sugar. It's primarily a result of consuming highly processed grains and refined sugars and lack of exercise. Collagens are long-lived proteins, and they are adversely modified by something called glycation, which is the attachment of sugar molecules to proteins. Glycation increases with age, and several advanced glycation end products, which are appropriately abbreviated as AGEs, because they really age us, act as crosslinks that increase the stiffness and impair the function of collagens in our tissues. Glucosaphane, the most abundant crosslink in senescent or aging skin collagen, is able to actually crosslink 1 in every 5 collagen molecules near it in the skin. More reasons to stop eating processed foods, and especially the ultra-processed stuff that they call food, which is just chemicalized garbage. If you're not sure what ultra-processed foods are, I'm providing a link to a good article explaining just what they are and why they are so addictive. Any of these collagen busters will impair your fibroblast's ability to produce collagen and greatly increase your susceptibility to developing fine lines, wrinkles and sagging skin, eye problems, joint problems, and bone loss. We can minimize all of them except aging. Obviously, aging is non-negotiable. It's a collagen buster we can't eliminate, but we can sure make up for the decrease in our internal production of collagen due to aging by just taking a collagen supplement. So let's talk about collagen supplements now. What does the research show? Almost 145,000 papers have been published on collagen in the peer-reviewed medical journals on PubMed. 1,325 of them have been published on collagen supplements. 335 of them were published in just the last 5 years, and 79 new ones in the last year. I discovered this when I was preparing for this lecture, and I probably read over 100 articles on collagen. I did not read 145,000 papers, though. Probably a little over 100. I've chosen a few of the best quality studies confirming that collagen peptides are, first of all, very well absorbed and bioavailable for us, and two, have significant beneficial effects on our bones, our joints, skin, hair, muscle, and body composition. I'm providing links to these papers for those of you who want to dive further into this research. It's a long lecture already. We do not have time to fully discuss each of these studies, but check out the links if you want to read more. It will take you right to the paper. Collagen peptides are rapidly absorbed from the small intestine into the bloodstream. They're absorbed in di- and tripeptide form, in which they not only provide protein building blocks, but act as signaling molecules, positively influencing bone, muscle building, joint pain, and connective tissue renewal. Collagen supplements improve bone health in postmenopausal women. A randomized double-blind placebo-controlled study of 131 postmenopausal women with age-associated decreased bone mineral density found supplementation with specific collagen peptides significantly increased their bone mineral density in both the lumbar spine and the femoral neck. In contrast, no changes were seen in the placebo group. Women in the collagen peptide supplemented group showed a 4.2% higher bone mineral density in the spine and 7.7% higher bone mineral density in the femoral neck after 12 months of treatment, with specific collagen peptides. This is an effect that was comparable to 12 months treatment with alendronate, which is Fosamax, and had no negative effects and lots of beneficial ones, unlike the drug. The bone-building effect of specific collagen peptide intake was also confirmed by a significant increase in P1NP. Remember that? That's the bone formation marker that gets cleaved off of type 1 collagen when you're producing new bone. In contrast, in the control group, only a significant increase was seen in the bone degradation or bone breakdown marker, CTX, after 12 months, which was the length of the study. Another randomized controlled trial of 39 postmenopausal women with osteopenia found that a supplement providing a combination of 5 grams of specific collagen peptides and some calcium, they gave them about 500 to 800 milligrams a day, depending upon the individual's weight, which is not helpful. We all need 1,200 milligrams total per day, so probably most of them needed close to 800 milligrams. And then they also gave them 400 to 800 IU of vitamin D, which you also know is inadequate. Still, having the collagen peptides and these minimal amounts of the nutrients that bones need significantly decreased the rate of bone mineral density loss compared to a supplement that only provided calcium and vitamin D. So the specific collagen peptides made a big difference. In the women receiving specific collagen peptides, the bone mineral density loss was less than 1/3 of the amount lost in the control group. A negative 1.33, which is a pretty small amount in the women receiving collagen, compared to negative 3.75 in the control group. Collagen peptides significantly reduce activity-related knee joint pain. Here are 2 more studies in addition to the one that we talked about earlier that confirmed the efficacy of undenatured type 2 collagen in improving knee joint function. A randomized control trial, 180 active men and women ranging in age from 18 to 30 years who had knee pain with exercise, but no diagnosed joint disease. They were randomly assigned to receive 5 grams of specific collagen peptides or placebo for 12 weeks, and the primary outcome was changes in pain during or after exercise using both a visual analog scale and a physician's examination of the affected knee joint. Supplementation of specific collagen peptides derived from type 1 collagen led to significantly greater reduction in exercise-induced knee pain. They started out negative 21.9 compared with the placebo group. The people getting the collagen peptides had a negative 15.6 versus the people who got placebo, they had a negative 21.9. And these findings were consistent with the physician's evaluation of the people in this study. Negative 14.6 for the people getting the collagen peptides versus negative 23 for the people on placebo. And here's another study that evaluated the effect of consuming 5 grams per day of bioactive collagen peptides for 12 weeks in reducing pain in 139 athletes with functional knee problems during sport. Results revealed a significant improvement in activity-related pain intensity in the treatment group compared with placebo, and the results were confirmed by a physician's assessment. This next one was a longer study, 24 weeks. It involved 147 subjects, 72 male, 75 female, who were randomly assigned to either a group receiving 10 grams of collagen hydrolysate rather than the UC2 or placebo. Statistically, and still they had benefit from that, statistically significant changes with dietary supplemental collagen hydrolysate compared to placebo were seen in joint pain at rest, as assessed by a physician. And according to the study participants, their joint pain when walking dropped a lot, less than half. Joint pain when standing decreased more than half. Joint pain at rest decreased more than half. And joint pain when carrying objects decreased about 2/3. Joint pain when lifting decreased about 1/3. A subgroup analysis of subjects with knee arthralgia, which simply means joint stiffness, was performed, and the positive difference between the effect of collagen hydrolysate versus placebo was even stronger. For this, it was a negative 0.86 versus a negative 167 in people getting placebo. And finally, I was able to find a study of older subjects rather than young, healthy athletes. It's hard to find, they do most of the studies on people who are younger and basically healthy. So this was a real find. It was a double-blind randomized study of 200 older adults who were at least 50 years old with joint pain at the lower or upper limbs or in their lumbar spine. And this was assessed with a visual analog scale, and then they were given either collagen hydrolysate, 1,200 milligrams a day, or a placebo, and they took it for 6 months. Clinical responders were defined as subjects who experienced at least 20% pain reduction in their most painful joint. At 6 months, the proportion of clinical responders to the treatment was significantly higher in those getting collagen hydrolysate. 51.6% improved compared to 36.5% in the placebo group. However, the improvement did take 6 months. No significant difference was seen between the groups after just 3 months. Now that you understand more about the mechanisms of action through which collagen peptides improve cartilage and joint function, I hope that makes sense to you. These were older individuals with significant low back and joint pain. Collagen does promote the renewal of healthy cartilage and bone, but the process takes time. You need to give it 6 months. Collagen peptides improve skin elasticity. A researcher named Prash et al. Investigated the effect of a type of supplemental bioactive collagen peptides called Verisol on skin elasticity in elderly women in a double-blind placebo-controlled trial. 69 women aged 35 to 55 years were randomized to receive 2.5 grams or 5 grams of collagen-specific peptides or placebo, just once a day for just 8 weeks. with 23 subjects being allocated to each of the treatment groups, some getting collagen, some placebo. After 4 weeks, a statistically significantly higher skin elasticity level was determined in the older women. At the end of the study, skin elasticity in the older women who got collagen, not the ones placebo. But at the end of the study, skin elasticity in both dosage groups, those receiving 2.5 grams a day and those receiving 5 grams a day, showed a statistically significant improvement in compared to placebo, who of course didn't improve. In another double-blind placebo-controlled study by Prash et al., they looked specifically at the effectiveness of Verisol on eye wrinkles and its stimulation of procollagen 1, elastin, and fibrillin biosynthesis in our skin. 114 women ranging in age from 45 to 65 years old were randomized to receive 2.5 grams of bioactive collagen peptides or a placebo, just once daily for 8 weeks. Skin wrinkles were objectively measured in all subjects before starting the treatment, after 4 weeks and 8 weeks, and again 4 weeks after the end of the study. A statistically significant 20% reduction in eye wrinkle volume was seen in the treatment group in comparison to the placebo group after 4 and 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, procollagen type 1 content had increased 65% and elastin had increased 18% in the volunteers who were treated compared to those who were given placebo. Furthermore, this beneficial effect was still seen 4 weeks after the last dose of bioactive collagen peptide was taken. And I'm sure you understand why now, because the collagen peptides are changing genetic, expression and providing support in like 5 different ways for skin. And it takes a little while for all that to show up. Miranda et al. Conducted a systematic review and a meta-analysis that included 19 studies with a total of 1,125 participants who ranged in age from 20 to 70 years. 95% of these people were women. The results of every single one of these studies confirmed that hydrolyzed collagen taken for 90 days effectively reduced skin aging, reducing wrinkles, and improving skin elasticity and hydration. And here's a link to this paper if you want to read it. And here's one more systematic review and meta-analysis by Dewey et al. Of 14 studies with a total of 967 participants that again consistently demonstrated 12-week regimen of hydrolyzed collagen supplementation revitalized skin by increasing both its hydration and elasticity compared to those given placebo. Collagen supplements will improve your nail health. We talked about this earlier today, but I wanted to include this study as well because the photograph clearly shows what collagen peptides can do for our nails. And I've had a number of you write into me that your nails are brittle or breaking easily. In this study, 25 participants took 2.5 grams of Verisol, specific collagen peptides, just once a day for 24 weeks, followed by a 4-week off therapy period. Nail growth and the rate and the frequency of cracked or chipped nails, as well as an evaluation of symptoms and global clinical improvement score of brittle nails, were assessed by a doctor during treatment and 4 weeks after discontinuation of taking the product. But you do not have to be a doctor to see the improvements in the photograph I have for you below. Daily intake of Verisol bioactive collagen peptides resulted in an increase of 12% in nail growth and a decrease of 42% in the frequency of broken nails after 24 weeks. And these improvements were even more pronounced after the 4-week washout period, when 88% of participants showed clinical global improvement, showing collagen peptides had improved the health of their nail matrix and nail bed. I mean, look at this picture. What a difference in this woman's nails. She has beautiful nails after the 12 weeks of collagen supplementation. Collagen supplements can help boost muscle mass too in just 12 weeks, even in elderly subjects with sarcopenia. Collagen makes up approximately 10% of the protein found in our muscles and stimulates muscle protein synthesis and muscle growth after resistance exercise. In a 3-month placebo-controlled study that involved 53 healthy men with sarcopenia whose average age was 72 years. 12 weeks of guided resistance training 3 times a week, plus supplementation with specific collagen peptides in half the men, okay, significantly increased their fat-free mass and their bone mass and decreased their fat mass. All the study subjects received some benefit from the resistance exercise training, but the effect was way more pronounced in the men who got collagen peptides. Collagen supplements and resistance training improve body composition and strength. Okay, you have less fat and more muscle when you take collagen supplement along with practicing resistance exercise training. Collagen peptide supplementation was shown to increase the rate of recovery, decrease pain, and improve strength and body composition when paired with resistance training. Specific collagen peptide supplementation, these people were given 15 grams a day, combined with resistance training, resulted in significantly greater increase in fat-free mass, okay, so more muscle, 4.2% in the treatment group versus 2.9% in those given placebo, and a decrease in fat mass, okay. Those in the treatment group decreased their fat mass by negative 5.4%, and those in the placebo group decreased by 3.5%. And this was in 97 men over the course of just 12 weeks. I mean, these are really fantastic outcomes. And in 77 premenopausal women in a second study over the course of 12 weeks. So it worked for men as well as women, or I should say women as well as men. Collagen supplements improve overall health in middle-aged active adults. A double-blind randomized controlled study with 3 treatment groups. Okay, some were given placebo, some were given 10 grams of collagen peptides every day, and some were given 20 grams of collagen peptides. Found improvements in activities of daily living and decreased pain in those receiving at least 10 grams of the collagen peptides. Over 6 months, it took a while, although pain only improved in high-frequency exercisers. And these were people who are exercising 180 minutes a week, which I think is what pretty much everybody should be doing. Mental component scores also improved in those taking 10 grams of collagen peptides over 3 to 9 months. And physical component scores improved in women given 20 grams of collagen peptide components. In other words, their fat and muscle and bone levels. In some, supplementing with 10 to 20 grams of collagen peptides daily for 6 to 9 months reduced pain, improved mental function, and improved middle-aged active adults' ability to just enjoy their lives. What types of supplemental collagen backed by research are available for us now? There's 4 of them that have really good research backing, and I'm going to tell you very briefly what they are. Verisol, which is a hydrolyzed, very low molecular weight specific collagen peptides of types 1 and 3 collagen, okay, that's derived from grass-fed, pasture-raised cows and has been shown in really good studies to effectively lessen wrinkles, improve skin hydration and elasticity, and support healthy nails and healthy hair and hair renewal. Fortibone, okay, is hydrolyzed types 1 and 3 collagen peptides, again derived from grass-fed, pasture-raised cows, and has been shown in good studies to support new bone formation and bone mineral density. So each of these different supplements contain different specific collagen peptides, and that's why they're having effects in different areas of the body. Fortigel contains specific collagen type 1 and 3 peptides derived again from pasture-raised cows and has been shown in good studies to stimulate the growth of new cartilage and help improve joint function and ease joint discomfort. And lastly, UC11, undenatured type 2 collagen, is derived from type 1 and type 3 collagen peptides. It's taken from chicken sternum, and it has been shown in very good studies to significantly improve joint health and lessen joint pain. Remember, this is the form that promotes oral tolerance. So it helps protect the joints from breakdown by matrix metalloproteinases. Each of these collagens has been sold separately, which meant that we needed to buy and take One product for our skin, one product for our hair, one product for our nails, another for our bones, and yet another for our joints. Now, AlgaeCal has created the ultimate collagen supplement. It's one collagen product, and it does everything. It's called Collagen Complete. Name certainly makes sense, and it provides the full clinical dose of all of these 4 well-researched collagens. You will be hearing a lot more about it. It's not available today while I'm taping this lecture, but I'm really looking forward to when it is, because I will be taking AlgaeCal Collagen Complete, and so will my husband, Dr. Joe Pizzorno, who is currently recovering from a hip resurfacing surgery and can really use this right now. I asked Joe to do a peer review of this lecture for me. He is the editor of a PubMed-listed medical journal called Integrative Medicine, a clinician's journal. You'll see it abbreviated IMCJ. So I wanted him to review this because he's very picky, and his review confirms that I have met very high academic standards in what I have shared with you. His comment after reading my lecture was, I need to start taking Collagen Complete. So I hope you will be inspired to try it as well. And I thank you for your kind attention. And as always, please send me any questions that you have. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm now going to end this really long lecture. Thanks for hanging in there with me.